Welcome to So You Want to Be a Geek, the podcast where we dive into the vibrant and ever-evolving world of geek culture. Whether you're a seasoned fan or just curious about what makes being a geek so special, join us as we explore everything from comics to movies, gaming, tech, sports, and everything in between. Each episode will bring you insights, interviews, and the latest news to fuel your passion and expand your horizon. So grab your favorite fandom and let's embark on this geeky adventure together. I'm Michael Canetti, and this is So You Want to Be a Geek. We're here at Looney Tunes record store in West Babylon, New York, a family-owned, long-time staple in the community for music and all things cool pop culture. And they have a huge vinyl collection that they have for sale, people to listen to. And we're here with Steve from Looney Tunes talking about vinyl and the history of Looney Tunes and all that fun stuff. Hi, Steve. How are you?
How's it going? How are you?
My biggest thing that I'm curious about is this huge resurgence in vinyl records. Like in the last, I'd say 10 years,
Right.
it has boomed again. And and how did that kind of come about? Is there like just a nostalgia to it, or is it?
Well, definitely nostalgia. I think what started was kids were digging through their parents' old record collection and go, "Oh, this is cool. This is cool. That's great." I think that's really what perpetuated the kids buying them, because a lot of kids come in and buy them. And when I was a kid, I was paying $2.99. I was bummed when it went to $8.99 for a record. And now they're $40. Now they're anywhere from $20 to $40. Absolutely,
It's crazy.
So I don't even know how they can afford it.
You can't just go on Amazon and buy like a $30 record player to hear the quality of it. Like, how does that all work? Like, what are you looking for if you wanted to like build yourself a player and a whole setup for?
Well, it really comes down to the turntable, the cartridge you're using. You could pay $20 for a cartridge or $5,000 for a cartridge.
What's a cartridge?
Cartridge is what the needle sits into. Sits in.
The little head for the needle.
Yeah, it's the head shell. You got the head shell, you got the cartridge, and the needle sits in that.
Okay.
So good cartridge, better. There's a whole.
I'm sure, yeah.
They get very expensive.
Yeah.
There are people with $100,000 systems, and I'm sure they can pick up everything, but it's going to sound fantastic.
I remember once, so one of my favorite albums of all time is Nirvana's MTV Unplugged.
No, I love that. Right?
I
Yeah.
love that album.
Yeah.
And I remember listening to it in three ways. I listened to it first as a CD when I was a kid, then a digitized version, and I heard it on a record. And what was funny about it, and I didn't have any fancy speakers, but I just heard it. It felt like I was at the live event. Right. It was just such a weird, sort of like visceral feeling.
I can tell you, for years, I had my records stored in a away. Yeah, just for space. And then because I bought a house and I put my record player. So my record player was away. And then they released one of my favorite records is George Harrison's All Things Must Pass.
Oh, yeah.
I think this was 2010. One of my favorite records. I bought it. My turntable wasn't hooked up. And then about a month goes by and I wanted the Concert of Bangladesh. So on a bookshelf, I have two records sitting on my bookshelf with no turntable. So I said to my wife, I said, "Why don't you go upstairs and I'm going to play around down here." So the first record I threw on was, I cleaned it up. It was Led Zeppelin 1.
Oh, wow.
My wife comes downstairs. She's in the kitchen and she comes in. She goes, "This is amazing. This sounds fantastic. Is this like a new remastered CD?" I go, "No, it's my 40-year-old record."
Wow.
Yeah. So if you take care of your records, they'll sound great.
I want to talk a little bit about the Looney Tunes. There's been highs and lows. The place had a fire several years back, and then during COVID, there was some challenges. Wasn't there something that didn't Barstool Sports something come in and help us out?
Yes, absolutely.
So how did that all come about?
I wasn't part of that, actually. So I don't know, but I guess Barstool comes in and they go to different, you write them a letter, and I don't know how that came about.
But what I find so amazing, like they saw the value in this place and the history and just the nuance of this place, and it was like, we need to keep places like this alive.
Correct. And we were actually in Newsday as one of the longest. I don't know if you saw that.
I remember seeing that.
Yeah, like the longest stores on Long Island.
And it's so, because so many places are just dying off because of Amazon or whatever. But like, there is still such a, you come into a place like this, like Looney Tunes, and you feel part of the place. Like, you just feel the energy in the room. You see the guitars and the records hanging up on the wall, and it has this sort of
like nostalgia to it, but also like a
Well, we definitely follow the trends.
Yeah.
So we also have a stage where we have artists coming in.
Yeah,
They either do album signings or they'll perform.
yeah. I mean, I remember years ago of like those performances on the roof or
It was only one. It was Stained.
It was Stained, right?
Yeah, there's only one they had. But yes, so
That's wild. I mean, and wasn't LL Cool J just here recently?
yeah, I had COVID that week, but everything was But yeah, I missed him, but I hear from everybody else. He was a great guy.
Wow, that's wild. But I mean,
Yeah.
there was Sabrina Carpenter was here at one point. Like that's amazing. Like that's such a cool.
Tried to get her for the other album, but she didn't have any time to come along on for the new album that she gets. But yeah, Carl, the owner, he keeps trying to get all these people to come here.
Hey, listen, but they see the value of coming here and doing a signing or just meeting their fans. Like that's just a cool thing because you're not gonna find this kind of place in going to a Barnes and Noble to do a signing or something like that. What are some ways that Looney Tunes utilizes to get people to the stores? Is it word of mouth? Is it social media? Or is it just like
social media is huge. We have a couple of people that do social media on a regular basis, and we have a mailing list and all the signings we have. The artists will post on their social media page.
Oh, that's cool.
Hey, I'll be performing at Looney Tunes. Come see. For example, we had Offset.
Oh yeah,
All right, Cardi B's husband came here.
oh no kidding.
We sold a bunch of tickets, but she was in the car coming here with him, and she goes, "Hey, it's Cardi B. I'm coming out to Looney Tunes." I have to tell you, the sales from the moment she got in the car till we sold out that night, which we weren't even close to selling out. We sold probably 3 times the amount, which was like funny because she was in the car and everybody wanted to meet her.
That's crazy. Could you imagine?
She was in the back and she met a few people.
It's so funny how that little nothing goes viral and just it draws people in because I love that sort of stuff. That's so cool. So what do you see as like the future of the store and stores like this? Like how do you see the world of vinyl keep growing and like the demand and all that kind of stuff?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's just it's tangible. You can hold it.
Yeah.
You can read it. You can open up the album cover. You can see who's playing on there.
That's the whole thing. It's the tangible. I remember even just in the 90s, like you go in to get your CD or even a cassette and you could fold it out. You could read the lyrics and all the different little backstories. Like you don't get that by clicking a download on iTunes.
You don't. You got to go on their website. That was on it.
Even like when you go buy a DVD, like you get all the special features that you don't get when you buy it on digitally. You don't see the behind the scenes and all that kind of stuff. It's just there's so much to that. Now, I mean, like I know that there are like hi-fi aficionados, right?
Sure.
That just like they have to buy certain types of high-end speakers or just
they'll buy high-end records.
Yeah.
Like
how do you get into that? Like how do people sort of like look for these like what's it called like Macintosh kind of interfaces and all that kind of stuff? Like
it's like everything else. You want better. You keep wanting more and more, and like say, "Oh, I want this," but then you read about something else and say, "Hey, I can get better separation. I can whatever your ear." Like some people may like this speaker, but some people may not like that speaker. But they may find a speaker too bassy, so it's really you have to go out and listen to them. And that's the other problem. A lot of stereo stores are disappearing, and you just buy. But you read online, you can't go to the store. But yeah, there's very few like audio stores.
But even if you go to like a Best Buy, you can't really sample the speakers, and they have just generic like your Bose or your Sonos kind of things. And and the Sonos speaker, as great as it is, it's not built for playing analog content.
Right.
It's meant for streaming music.
Because like when we sell a turntable, and it depends what they all have preamps, but they'll play really good. But if you want to go better than that,
you have to go into
even louder. You're gonna need to get a receiver or an amp to plug into that to boost the sound and get more quality out of it.
And I mean, listen, I've done my research on amps and interfaces. You can go crazy.
Research on yourself.
You can go nuts.
100%. Yeah,
it's so wild. And I have like a couple of different speakers in my house, and I have small little amps for things, and they're like 100-watt amps. But like, you can go. It's wild. It's so interesting. Do you see more and more artists releasing things on vinyl or like doing because of the market for that?
Almost all of them. Yeah, but I would say almost all. A lot of them go straight to. I don't know why they do streaming only.
I think they're losing money by doing that, right? Like,
yeah, because if you go streaming only, Taylor Swift did. She made no money until she redid her own stuff. Redid her own stuff, so she then took everything off of the platform. Yeah, and all that. But it's I think that it's really hurting them. I mean, I have a jazz musician friend who plays piano, and it's expensive to make vinyl.
Oh yeah.
So as good as she has like 7 CDs and she sells them well, but she hasn't made vinyl. I said, just do a Kickstarter campaign.
Yeah.
Guarantee you to make X amount of, just do that.
But even I've watched videos on YouTube of like how they make like press the vinyl, and they do multicolors now and all those things. It's also, there's a human element of actually printing the vinyl versus like a digital CD or whatever. It is almost creating new jobs because people are going back into like making vinyl and having to cut it down with the whatever the material is that it's sort of pressing with. Is it plastic? Is it rubber? I don't know what it is, like when they press them, but it's just a cool thing. And I just like, even I'm a huge Batman fan, and they've re-released like the early 80s Batman movies on albums on vinyl, even the Prince albums over that. And they have this like cool purple color to them, and it's just interesting how they do all this stuff. It's so cool. I love it.
Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and leave a review on your favorite podcast platform. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at SYWTBAG for updates, behind the scenes content, and more geeky goodness. Have a topic you'd like us to discuss or a guest you'd like to hear from? Let us know. So you want to be a geek at gmail.com, and stay up to date and join the conversation. Until next time, keep embracing that inner geek, and remember, the adventure never ends.